Having done that, we shall go straight away to our third agenda. That is a welcome remark by our COC for the launch. That is none other than Mr. Onoba Frank. So let's put it together for Mr. Onoba Frank.
Thanks a lot, everyone, and good morning once again. I want to, in a special way, thank all of you for making it here. I've been in touch with many of you. I've been making phone calls, trying to follow up here and there. At least we've been interacting on phone and WhatsApp. So this is the Frank you've been talking to. I want to thank you for coming and for making it here. Like you're always hearing Caraca. Caraca is just patch. It's the Caraca that we know, and we are here coming up as young and vibrant youth who are so committed and passionate in changing lives and making contributions to the community. Karaka in full, as Karaka HIL in full, as we were saying, it is Karaka Humanitarian Initiative Limited, and this event that we are in, the press conference, it's geared towards the launch of this organization, which is going to be on 25th of June this year, and our reception will be at Nebbi Town SS. That is where we are going to do the launch from, and we expect you people to come and be with us. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank West Nile TV, the management of West Nile TV, for allowing us or allowing to sit with us for this engagement, and I believe your coming is not in vain, and the partnership is going to work towards the betterment of West Nile, because all this is not about ourselves, but it is about the community. I want to thank Radio Rainbow, management of Radio Rainbow, for turning up and being positive, Radio Paida for coming, Radio Pakwach, Radio Patches, Uganda Radio Network, and all other media houses, the West Nile Expo, the Scope. Guys, we are just overwhelmed with joy. Thank you for coming, and thank you. I think I'm not going to speak much. The rest of the communication is going to come from our ED. She will talk about Caraca and all about the initiative that we are going to do. Mine was just to welcome you. Thank you, and thank you once again. And with this, we declare the meeting open.
Thank you very much, our chairperson, Central Organizing Committee, for Caraca launch that is slated for 25th June this year. That is another than Mr. Onoba Frank. For those who didn't get his name well, he's the one spearheading this launch that is going to take place come June this year. Straight away, we are going to our next agenda. That is going to be a presentation by the Executive Director, Karaka HIL. Let's put it together for Nara and Mrs. Mercy Leko. Sorry.
Good morning, everyone. The mood is kind of low, but I would love us to hype up a little because we are not here for a funeral. We are here for the launch of a mighty event that is to happen probably for the first time in West Nile, especially our kingdom, Alur kingdom. And I'd like to start by apologizing for the time failure that we failed to conduct on our side, in the organizing side, the hosting side. We really apologize for that, but I'm really glad that we all managed to make it under short notice, because these letters were distributed to you in a span of literally 5 days. So we really appreciate the fact that you took our request into consideration and positively responded. That is to all the media houses present. We have Pakwach FM, we have Nebbi, that is Rainbow FM, we have Radio Maria, we have Paida FM, we have Arua One, Radio Patches, West Nile TV, West Nile Exposed, Nile Scope. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for honoring our request and being here. About Caraca, like I introduced myself earlier on, my name is Masileko. I am the Executive Director for Karaka Humanitarian Initiative Limited. This is an initiative that has been taking different activities within West Nile, specifically the 3 districts of the Greater Nebbi and Alur Kingdom, that is Nebbi, Pakwach and Zombo districts. We've been doing activities here and there, but not in the capacity of being registered or legally owning the place. So it was an initiative that we decided, since we are a number of young people who have come together, we decided to make it a legal entity where we can conduct our activities in a most trustworthy way. That's why we came up with this initiative. Caraca, as it sounds, is the Caraca we know that we all talk about, of a cloth that is torn and they patch up some other cloth to make it stronger to avoid your nakedness being seen outside. That is the Caraca. You may be wondering why we used the name Caraca specifically out of all the cute names around the world. Well, as we are young people, imperfect in nature. We've been thrown up and down by life in different ways. We have different stories that has happened in our lives that might have put us down, but we decided to rise up above the ashes. The name Caraca came because we are imperfect ourselves. We are torn. We are a torn young generation, but we don't decide to base on our torn parts. We decide to use our torn sides to patch up the lives of the younger people who are also growing up, and probably most of them will face the same challenges. So it's better we alert them about the challenges we faced so that they use our mistakes and the fact that we stood up out of that mistake to make our lives better. So we are the young people. You can see a few members here. We all have stories. Even you, the media personalities, you have stories of challenges of growing up, of being a young person, of being a member of a family, probably the eldest member of the family. We all have stories, but we are using our experiences as young people to impact the lives of other young people in this kind of community that we are living in. That is literally where this name Caraca came in and how we came up with this organization. This initiative is cutting across culturally, politically, religiously, socially, business-wise, into education, name it all. We are not specified in a specific field of operation. We want to look through the challenges our communities are facing in all aspects, and we look at ways of how to solve these problems. This initiative literally came in from 2020 during the lockdown when the COVID wave came in, and this was especially from Pakwach district where the Albert Nile took over property, land, houses of so many people, leaving them homeless, leaving them lacking. The COVID lockdown itself left so many people hungry, so many people lacking what to eat, to mention but a few. So that is where we took up this initiative to help these people, give the little we have. Not all of us have jobs, not all of us are employed, but we use the little we could get from each other to give back in form of food, in form of clothes, in form of warm warm clothes for those that were homeless, and we provided a few tents to these people along the Albert Graben. So that is where our initiative started, and we decided not to stop there, but go cut across, and this is where we are today. Karaka HIL is into trying to look at cultural norms. We uphold culture so much. That's why we look forward to partnering with different kingdoms. That is one of our own, that is Alur Kingdom, plus other kingdoms within West Nile. As the saying goes, charity begins from home. We don't intend to only stop in West Nile region, but we cannot spread Karaka HIL to the rest of the country or the rest of the world before us building it at home. That's why we have first specifically specialized our activities within West Nile before we can cut across to other parts of the country or worldwide. So we are going to be looking at upholding culture, that is one of it. Advocating for education for all gender, that is both male and female without segregation. But of course, with the current generation we are in, we have to advocate more for the girl child as it is going around with other organizations. But we don't intend to leave the boy child behind, because we cannot train a girl child on how to live ideally or morally without educating the boy child on how to coexist with this girl in that same community. We are cutting across social norms. We are cutting across talent development. We are cutting across moral development, religious development, to mention but a few. So you should be asking me right now where our offices are located. Our offices are located here in Nebbi. That is where our main office is, but we operate all over West Nile for now. And our box number is PO Box 247 Nebbi. Karaka HIL is going to coordinate with media houses, cultural leaders, politicians, businessmen, and so on. And some of the activities that we look forward to having is school outreaches, which we've already started holding. For example, in January, we went through a series of schools. That is to say, in Nebbi district, we went to schools like Nebbi Primary School, St. Monica Primary School, Nebbi SS, Uringi SS, and I think in Paida, that is Zombo district, we went to Paida Modo, Oturugan Girls, Paida Seed, Nyapea College, that is St. Aloysius College, and then in Pakwach we went to Pakwach Girls, Omach Primary School, Pakwach SS, that is Pasesco, and then we went to Day Primary School and Panimur Secondary School. So those are the schools so far that we've covered with school outreaches. And what have we been doing in these schools? We've been going out for counseling. You know, these children are back from the COVID lockdown, and they have encountered so many problems. They have encountered shortage in providence from their guardians. Some of them have engaged in businesses, and they felt like it's more earning to be in business other than being in school, because they saw the money they got out of business during the lockdown. So it was hard for parents to convince these children to come back to school. And others were forced, actually. They didn't want to go back to school, but they were forced to go back. So our aim was to go there and try to talk them back into the mood of education, because that is something that was so hard for us to do. Others were just there because at home they don't want them. They want them to be at school. Others were there because all their friends had gone back to school, based on the testimonies that they shared with us. So we went to counsel them through sex education, through moral development, because most of the girls, as you know, West Nile registered one of the highest number of teenage pregnancy and child marriages during the lockdown, as you saw the statistics that were provided by the country. Stay in school, and we're looking at different mechanisms of how we can engage in school other than just talking to them. We went ahead to share our contacts, because these children lack a point of confidentiality. They don't trust their teachers because they feel their teachers will discuss their problems. They can't trust their parents because they assume their parents are going to judge them. Most of them are in relationships at a tender age. So we were trying to talk to them in order for them to share with us so that we can advise them. And that is where we came up with the Big Sis Dial. That is one of our projects that we are building on. It's called the Big Sis Dial. The Big Sis Dial is a telephone number that we are providing to the different young people, the schools, health centers, police stations. This is a number we are giving to these people to freely talk to us, confide in us, so that we can talk to them and advise them on how to tackle their problems. Some of them are going through mental breakdown. Some of them are going through adolescent stage that they need some guidance and they don't know who to talk to. So this Big Sis Dial is a number for these young people to freely express themselves. They don't have to tell us who they are for those that fear revealing their identity. They just call us, or we call them back most times because they lack credit or airtime. So they tell us the problems they're going through, then we advise them accordingly. So that is where the Big Sis Dial comes in, because lack of who to talk to, lack of who to confide in, as we see, has led so many young people into making the worst mistakes of their lives that has left them down, some of them dead. Some of them have committed suicide because they don't know who to talk to. Some of them have ended up getting pregnant because they don't know who to confide in. Some of them have ended up into drug abuse because they don't know who to tell their problems, and they're sure with doing drugs they'll forget their problems, which is not really that fact at hand. So that is where our Big Sis Dial came into place. And aside that, we are looking at developing our health centers, because this is where our young mothers, the victims of pregnancies during lockdown, are having their antenatals. It's where the young children are giving back to children. So that is where our aim is also in the health centers, especially the remote ones, health center 3s of the different communities. So we are looking forward to providing the little basics that we can afford, and with the help of other donors, sponsors, we look forward to developing more and providing more in our capacity. The next thing we are looking at is the unions that we intend to develop within Karaka Humanitarian Initiative. As you know, we are a youth of different professions. Others are literates, others are illiterates. We are not only here as literates. Some people have not gone to school, but they have been gifted in different ways. So we welcome young people as they are. So among those that are literates, we have professionals. They are lawyers, we have doctors or health workers, we have teachers, we have social workers, we have business people, to mention but a few. So within us, the Karaka Humanitarian Initiative team, we are building unions of our professions. For example, we have lawyers. For example, we have teachers. So what are we going to do within our unions? The union of lawyers, we intend to do pro bono services to our community. That is to say, we go out to the community to identify the problems, the injustices that are going through. We identify these people that are going through these injustices, advise them legally, and where we can and where resources are enough for us, we'll go ahead to represent them in court, to have their injustices or their problems solved. For example, through domestic violence. There are others. The most vibrant problem we are having in West Nile right now is domestic violence and loss of land. Those are the main injustices. Child abuse. So we intend to tackle these problems as lawyers, advise these people where we can legally on what procedures they could take to help them legally, and have them have our pro bono services. And then we are going through to the teachers union, that is the education union. These teachers are going to be going to the different schools to help these children through their syllabus, free of charge. One thing I haven't mentioned that I need to emphasize is that Karaka Humanitarian Initiative is non-partisan via politics or anything. we are of different beliefs, religiously, politically, and we are not here to advocate for a specific religious group or a political group. So, in the Teachers Union, we intend to go to these schools, help these children through their syllabuses, and also we intend to have past papers from the UNEB offices and other schools, like the schools in Kampala that are performing well. We have those past papers and discuss them with the students and pupils in the different schools to help them improve on their education results, since we are really lagging behind as a region. And the Engineering Union, we have the plan of identifying the different communities, remote communities, identifying the most vulnerable people in these communities, having them, especially the elderly, the disabled, those who lack homes. How are we going to help them out? Probably through building, where there is a shortage of water, we intend to put water sources to ease their access to water, with the partnership of other, let me say, the government and other stakeholders. We intend, one of our main projects and aims per year is to identify at least 5 elderly people or needy people within a community that lack homes, and with the help of our engineers within that union, build houses for these people. We don't promise to build permanent houses or mansions, but the little we can that can provide a shelter for that person. So those are some of the few things. Amidst other business, we have business people, CEOs of different businesses, big scale businesses, small scale businesses. We intend to have them also advise the young people on how to start up businesses and also sustain these businesses, develop them and grow in them, basing on the different experiences that they might have gone through and how they have been able to develop their own businesses. So there are other unions that, due to time, I may not be able to discuss them all, but you can always relate with a few examples that I've given. And we intend to go through awareness, and why we intended to call the media houses here is because we are going to have the launch of Karaka Humanitarian Initiative. We intend to have it in June, and the set date that we had proposed is the 25th of June 2022. That is about 2 months from now. We intend to have this launch at Nebbi Town SS Playground, that is Arua Road. And this launch is going to cover different activities. For example, we shall have a run, a charity run that will be flagged off from here in Nebbi, and we shall go. We shall go through the run. We shall come up with a map, the road map where the run will take place. And this run is going to be an open run for everyone who can participate. Why are we having this run? There are so many items that are going to be sold out for people to participate in this run, and they're going to buy tickets to participate in this run. And the residue out of these tickets and these items that are going to be sold are going to be used to buy things that are going to facilitate at least 3 health centers, one from every district within Alur Kingdom. So we are identifying 3 health centers to which these monies are going to go to facilitate the main problems within their health centers. So this run will take place. Thereafter, we shall proceed to our venue, that is Nebbi Town SS Playground, and the guests will arrive, people will arrive, we shall have speeches, we shall have counseling and so on going on. We expect cultural leaders, political leaders, business community, to mention but a few. These people are going to come and be part of us, and that is where we shall openly introduce Karaka Humanitarian Initiative, and thereafter have our launch. aside other activities like upholding our culture, that is by presentations, the dances, the different cultural dances, and also having our talent built personalities. Those are our artists from the region, also entertaining the guests on that day. And also we shall have a package for the children on that day. That is to say, face painting, bouncing castle, to also have them have fun on that day, other than the elders activities. And we also intend to have different people showcase their businesses, their talents, their items out of their businesses, art and craft, people coming to sell their items, to mention but a few. So it's going to be more of a trade show. It's going to be a Caraca launch. It's going to be a charity run, to mention but a few. But I can promise you it's going to be action-packed. And I would like to tell you all that you would be missing out a lot if you don't attend that event. And that event cannot be a success without the media personalities, because you are the greatest, how do I say it? You people communicate more to the world than we do. Yes, you're the whistle, thank you. You're the whistleblowers of any activity that takes place. That's why we took you as the first priority today to be part of us. And we call upon you to take part. We invite you to partner with us, to see to it that this launch is successful, to see to it that we market this strategy, and not just stop at the launch, but have our activities, reach out to each and everyone, have everyone impacted with our activities, and spread this awareness. We intend to partner with the different media houses within West Nile to create awareness, to also go into sponsor where we are able in the near future, and also use us to address the problems that these different communities are going through. So, in a nutshell, that is what the launch is about. And our theme for the launch this year is an extra mile for one more child. Why is it that? We are going to have the run. So the run is motivated by that theme, one extra mile for one more child. Every step you take, every item you buy, every run you participate in is going to go as an extra income to help a child. The girls who have been who have dropped out of school due to pregnancy, who have given up on education, who have been involved in different immoral activities, maybe due to lack of providence and so on. The monies that are going to be gathered out of these activities are going to help out and reach different girls to create an impact in each and every child. The children being born by these children who got pregnant are all going to have an impact out of this launch. So I invite you all, media personalities and media houses, to take part in this specific. Be part of us, don't leave us, we cannot do this without you. So this is specifically why we had this media conference today. So in Mr. Onoba Frank for the organizing committee of the launch that is scheduled for 25th June. We have Mr. Makbul Ibrahim, he's right here on my right. He's also in charge of most of the activities that are going on. We have Mr. Kisa Bright, mostly known as KB. There he is. He's also in charge of program management and he coordinates a lot when it comes to ground management. We have Mr. Emilio Jr. He's also part of us in organizing a lot and advocating, in charge of our media, social media platforms. We have our sister Daphne. She's also part of us. And other members have not been able to join us today because they have been held up in different stations. We have Miss Munguriek Patience. She is the CEO of Unique Attractions and she deals in fashion and design, decorations and so on. You might have seen her work here and there in different events. Mr. Ibrahim here is in, I know you've all seen the premiere photography, film and photography this is the man behind that. So I can't say we are all established, but the little we have told you is all I think we can tell you today. Thank you so much.
Wow.